Oh, I'm getting upset already here because it was a hard time when I was pregnant too. My name is Vidy, and for today's video, it's just gonna be another story. I got some story times already. If you guys are interested in binge watching some story times of my experience and my lifestyles, I'll leave a playlist up here. But don't forget to subscribe and please give it a thumbs up if you guys like these story times, because sometimes you guys do and sometimes you guys don't. But I just feel like some of my adventures I have had also in the past that I feel like I need to express and share this to everybody, because this is such good story. I do need to mention that I've not brought this up to really anybody. I mean, every time we bring it up, we get so excited, so amped up about it, because it was such an adventure for us. Like, it literally was. Like, all right, you guys subscribed it, you guys give it a thumbs up, you guys turn on that notification bell on. So 5 to 6 years ago, 5 years ago, it had to be 5 years ago. 5 years ago, we used to live in the studio. That's when we first got our place. I didn't have my kids around. It was just me and their dad. And all I had is my dog at the time. I had a dog back then. For those who don't know, I used to have a dog. She was a Chihuahua slash, I forgot now. Oh, Jack Russell. She was Chihuahua mixed with Jack Russell, so she had that look into it. It was a black and white kind of dog. She was pregnant at the time, which we didn't know yet when this continues on the story though. And we got in a fight because he really was desperate to have a dog of his own for that stop again. He needed my help. But yeah, we had a huge fight because of that dog. And my dumbass self, thought I could beat him, do something stupid that I should even continue into this conversation that we were arguing about. And I think this is bothering me. And he really wanted this dog. He thought it was gonna be like a pit bull dog, like a pure pit bull. Or actually, let me take that back. I thought it was a pure pit bull dog, or a, what are those dogs? Those big short dogs that are like chubby and stuff. Can't think of the name. Bulldog. Yeah, there you go. We thought it was a full breed bulldog because that's what they posted up online. And I didn't know why it came out. It came out over our location, which is like 8-hour away distance from where this person lives. Wait, no, it was 10 hours away distance for the person where they live. That's what it said on the map. And but yeah, I only had like what, $180 on me, and I said, I ain't gonna go pick up your dog with $80, and I don't have the money to go have this dog get it transferred over here on plane, you know, because you could do that. You could purchase a dog. Do not touch, please. You could purchase a dog online from the owner and have them request to go to the plane, have it like all the safety standards that you need to do appropriate to have your dog to be transferred in the plane, and to know, just like a kid, you know, like you're gonna buy a ticket for your kid and then you're gonna need someone to supervise your kid. It's the same thing as this, but this one's different. It's just a dog, but they do supervise your dog when you pay the money for them, the plane people, and the ticket to get it right to your destination, and go ahead having to meet up with them, all that stuff. And I said, it's just a dog, even though like we could get other dogs around in our area. But he was really wanting that dog. Well, let's just say he was just being stubborn. Usually got this job too. Like, it wasn't that long of a experience of working with this company. And pointless, which I realize it now. It was still pointless to begin with, but I just like, you know what? Why don't we just go over there? Why don't we just go to Arizona, because that's where it was. It was in Arizona. And we were living in California, North California. And I was like, yeah, go ahead. Let's go to Arizona. And I bet you $80 we ain't gonna make it. He called in the morning and say I wasn't gonna go in, and then I ended up having my other 2 days off, and it just went all bad for my job. I almost lost my job because of that, but I called that job early in the morning. We left in the middle of the night or early in the morning when we called the job that I'm calling in, and we started driving. We drove for like hours. We drove for hours. We were driving in a highway that was only desert. We were driving that California highway, that one highway that keeps going straight down. I don't know what's the highway called, but it was just hours of driving on just that highway, because I used the GPS to get us to the faster destination just to get there. And we were like always spectacle about, oh, we're not gonna make it to the next gas station because we're gonna be always low, because every time we go to the next gas station it'd be like almost to eat, because the gas stations in that highway was forever. It took forever. Oh my gosh, tell me about it. All I saw was trucks. Obviously trucks would go through that highway then because they got backup gas as well. And so we went there for hours later, and it was around the summertime. I took my dog with me, obviously, because I wasn't going to leave her behind, and I had no one to watch her. And especially when we were just going to go ahead and pick up a dog over in Arizona, 10 hours away. But once we reached to a small city, we reached to a small city called, who knows what it's called, because it's way too long ago to remember. But it was like, I'll say 2 hours or 1.5 hour away to Vegas, from the California towards Vegas, that area. And we reached to that area and we got stuck. With $80, we reached it to at least near Vegas, but we were still not there yet. We were like an hour and a half away, as I said. And we didn't know how to get there. We were stuck, so the only thing we did is asked for help. Oh, I don't know why I never brought this up until now. I was pregnant. I just found out I was pregnant too. So me and my dog were pregnant. But it was fun though, because after me being pregnant, I was still very like short months, maybe like a month or 2 months pregnant. And me going over there, and it's summertime, desert area, so much humid, so much heat, always having to like have to constantly drink water because of me as a pregnant woman, that you gotta constantly drink water more. And then with the heat going on while we're in the drive in the road and the highway for a long time, I was constantly being dehydrated from it. We got into some gasoline places, and we asked for help. We did ask for help, but we couldn't get anybody to give us some gas money to help us to get to Vegas, because we had at least my part or his part had families just in case. So we were trying to head to Vegas now because we had nowhere to go, and we were just gonna keep getting stuck in the middle of nowhere, which our actions what got to us to there. And so we went to a different gas station. We started going much further closer to Vegas, and we only made it within an hour of what was left on our gas. And then we had to stop to the next gas station, and we had to ask for help there, which was much difficult there because that gas station was more like, it wasn't a city or a town, it was just in the middle of the highway, and it's just so desert, and it's another freaking miles away just to get to Vegas, to get to a place that's very community around, a city, a huge city, a bunch of stores everywhere, or people that could help you, like those communities, services, stuff like that. So we were just very desperate, and he kept asking me to be the bigger person, and ask for help because I was pregnant, and to mention that I'm pregnant so we could get some help and get home. I didn't want to do it just because I was embarrassed, just because I made the decision to allow these actions to happen, and I just didn't. I'm still a shy person. I don't have the confidence especially when a bad situation happens. I don't have the guts to be able to go ahead and ask people for money when it's not my money, you know? It gets to me a little bit. Because I'm getting upset already here because it was a hard time when I was pregnant too. But it was some crazy journey though, crazy adventure though, and I mean he did his part on always asking every person that he could find that could possibly help and give us some money. He did give us a bike, a motorcyclist. It gave us a $10, and he gave it to the right reason because he wasn't sure to give us the money or not because I wasn't there to tell him about it. It was just him and the guy, and he said I hope you use it for the right reasons and not for like buying drugs and stuff like that, because a lot nowadays everybody who asks for money is because they're using it for drugs. And so we were happy that we thanked him and all that we got $10, and we start driving more further towards Vegas, heading east, and we couldn't even make it to Vegas. We got in there much closer. Like I said, it was an hour and a half. We were like probably hours away then. But when we literally got stuck, we stopped in a very small little town, like an hour away from Vegas. And we were at Denny's. They had Denny's there and all that stuff, but we didn't have no money to even order ourselves food in there because of how broke we were to be able to like get gas. This shirt is like normie. And it was just but the thing is, we were happy that we found a restaurants there, because and then they had Wi-Fi, which is Denny's saved our life because we had no phone service at the time either. We only used Wi-Fi, and he had his tablet, a Samsung tablet Tab A, and we used that for everything to be able to contact anybody. And we were lucky that Denny's had Wi-Fi, so we stand by the front entrance, and then we used their Wi-Fi just to call someone on Facebook, which he called one of his sisters on Facebook and asked for their help to be able to get us to Vegas at least, and explain why we were in this stuck situation. Because I mean, we're involving them, so we kind of have to explain to them what really even happened. Like their dad came to pick us up, and we had to wait for that hour, so we were still sitting there in the sun heat. It was hot, so we constantly had to go to the store, a fast food restaurant right next to Denny's, and constantly just ask for a cup of water and just constantly drinking cold water, whatever they had in their water fountain, because it was gross water fountain though. But because we also kept feeding our dog constantly water, because by the time we found out, when we were there, we found out she was pregnant. We didn't know she was pregnant because she had babies recently in the past, so she's always been having like loose belly, you know, when you get pregnant, like mommy test, like me. So we found out she was pregnant when she threw up, and she was like laying down like in a position like if she was gonna give birth, but she didn't. And that's how we were able to know. I started like feeling her stomach to just like gently to feel if she was, in which I did felt some. I felt like the babies in there, so I knew she was pregnant. So we were constantly keeping an eye on her a lot though, because she's a small dog in a human world, constantly going with us, and I felt bad. I was like, wow, why did we even brought her here now? She was also struggling with the heat, being super dehydrated as well, so we were constantly having to fill up whatever we had, bottles, and constantly just fill it up in bottles and cups wherever we go. And every stop we take, try to get some free water as much as we can, so we won't be dehydrated, or my dog, because I was so dehydrated. I constantly kept getting dizzy and fainting kind of feeling, because especially when I was pregnant, and then those hormones are strong, you know. And it was just harsh. And so yes, we had finally got to Vegas, and so her dad fed us at McDonald's, like a whole meal of it, make sure we're all fed and well, and made sure my dog was fed well as well. And he filled up our gas before I had all the way, and then he made sure he filled up our gas as well on the way having to leave. Like he gave us extra money as well to be able to do another trip on gas and still be good on full gas. Okay, Say hi.